Welcome to This Week in Indian Hill Braves Sports here on the all-new IndianHillBraves.org here on ESP Media, powered by Sidearm Sports. I'm Jason Griefer, and as always, we're joined by Indian Hill AD Brian Phelps. Brian, good to have you back with us once again. How are things up in your area?
Things are great, moving right along. One more week down in the books, and we're feeling good about the fall so far.
Good. Let's get right into it. Let's start with your football team. Another dominant win against Taylor. You win that one 60-6. You're now 5-0. You're going to get Finneytown this coming week. They're 0-5. They're giving up 53 points per game. You've seen the numbers. You know it's been a struggle for Finneytown this year, and we'll find out later in the week. You know, playoff matchups and all that, so you'll know ahead of time before the game. But you know, in seeing how things have gone, you know, you looked really dominant through 5 games. Are your coaches looking at this final game against Finneytown of the regular season as a way to kind of make one more final statement going into the playoffs, or is it one where we're going to see maybe some different rotations and maybe some guys that have played 2 ways, maybe take some extra plays off and get some guys some extra rest ahead of the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's more that direction. I think that thankfully Taylor felt like it was our cleanest game from a penalty standpoint and just doing a lot of things right. I think the statements have been made for the rankings and all that kind of stuff, and that'll be out by Friday night. And I think the mindset will probably be play a good, clean first half, hopefully, and kind of go from there. I don't sit in those meetings and know exactly what our coaches want to do, but it feels like that's about right. To get that first half in and hopefully things are going well. And the second half is a chance to maybe rest some guys or play some guys that just aren't playing as much. And we'll see. I don't make those decisions, but I've heard a little bit about that's probably the way that it'll go.
Well, and either way, looking good heading into the playoffs, and that's what we like to hear there. Have we've heard a lot of places and schools have already started to formulate a schedule of some games for if you do get knocked out of the playoffs, and we don't want that to happen with the Braves, of course. But have you made any contingency plans for if you do end up getting upset early in the playoffs to maybe get another game or 2 in with somebody else?
No. We are the thing that we are trying to do is maybe find a JV game to play during the playoffs, maybe 2 if possible. And we kind of have to wait to see who gets a bye and maybe that wants to play a JV game. But our goals are to, like everyone else's, I know, are to play for a while in the playoffs, and hopefully we're playing the last weekend. And we are not looking for other games to pick up once the playoff run is over at this point.
And hopefully it's a long playoff run, and that won't even become a discussion, and make it easier on you and everybody else there.
That's right.
Let's talk about cross country. We talked last week about how everybody seemingly at Indian Hill High School set a personal record out at the Eaton Invite, and then you carry that into this past weekend. How did you see them keep that momentum going this past weekend?
The Seven Hills Cross Country Invitational is a tough one, and both our boys and girls team did well. Our JV team won their division. But that's a tough course. That is not a course that you go to set PRs. It's very hilly. I know that course very well, and about the last 60 yards feels like it's straight uphill to the finish line. So we've not been at that race for a long time, and it was good to get back in it and to run it. It's kind of more of a fun type of course to run, like I said, than personal best type of times. But it was good. I think they enjoyed it, and hopefully that meet is in our future.
Good to hear that. Let's talk about volleyball. Currently sitting in 4th place right now in the league. You're going to take on Madeira on Tuesday. They're in 2nd. You're just 2 games behind them. It played back on September 3rd. A very tight match. Madeira wound up winning it in 4 sets, but 3 of the 4 sets were within 4 points. So it's a back and forth battle there. Now you get them back this coming Tuesday at your place there. Knowing how tight that was the first time, does that give the team extra shot of confidence that they can get revenge on Madeira this time at home?
Yeah, we know that's a good matchup for us, and we have a chance. And really, the Wyoming game, I think, gave us even more confidence kind of going into that game. They won in 4, but it was a great match. We played very well. They were all close. So kind of Wyoming and volleyball being at the top of the standings.
Sure.
To know that game could have, or that match could have gone really either way, in our opinion, just the way that we played. I think we feel like we're in a good spot to host Madeira on Tuesday.
Do you feel like it gives them like a shot of confidence down towards the end of the year when, you get into, the postseason, that if they run into a team like a Wyoming or like a Madeira, that they have the confidence they can hang with some of the better teams in the state?
Yeah, absolutely. As every team wants to be towards the end of the season, to feel like they're getting better, we are, and we've played some really good teams. Most of those teams are in our own conference, and we feel like we can hang and play with all those ladies. And yeah, so rolling into the tournament, whether we see somebody we don't know as well or maybe a familiar foe, we feel like we have a chance. So that's what you want to have come tournament time.
Oh, you can ask for it. Let's move on to the pitch. Boys soccer right now, sitting at 500 in the league. Again, still we're fairly early into league play, so a lot of time left. But you've got a chance to move up here if you can beat Taylor on a Tuesday night. Good team there. As well. This has been a very roller coaster season. You look at the results, and it seems like we're alternating, the win, loss, tie, kind of in that mode. So it's kind of been interesting to follow that as it's gone along, at least from an outsider's perspective. You come off a tough loss to Alter. That's a good Alter team, and I had a chance to see them myself. Is it now the expectation that, hey, even though we had a loss, we're able to put that behind us, and we fully expect to bounce back and take care of business against Taylor?
Well, yeah, the Ultra game, again, I think our coaching staff felt like we played pretty well. That's a good team for us to play, and a team we want to keep playing. And unfortunately, our Taylor match has been postponed. They let us know that we're going to have to play that later in the year. So that just happened pretty recently, just a day or two ago. So unfortunately, we will not get Taylor tomorrow, but we'll pick them up hopefully again towards the end of the season. And yeah, boys soccer, they're grinding, and it's that 500 type of season. We all want to win every game every year, but that's not happening for the guys. But I appreciate the work they're putting in, and they're going to be that sneaky team again come playoff time. We're going to be tested. We're going to play. We played some of the best teams, and we can sneak up on somebody and get that win that maybe we're not expected to get. That's the kind of team that we are this year.
Do they get that sense right now that the win-loss record maybe isn't what it could be, but come playoff time, they're gonna, like, Indian Hill's gonna be that team that nobody wants to see them in their first round?
I think that's right. Our reputation is a solid one in boys soccer for sure, and even though it's that less than stellar record for the season. There's probably not going to be a ton of teams jumping to play us as soon as possible. So that's what's great about our guys. They're going to keep fighting and grinding and play tough, and our coaching staff is going to coach them up. And we just have to play a really good game at the right time, and
sure,
you never know what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move over to the girls' side. They're scheduled to play Alter, and then you've got Taylor on Wednesday. Is your expectation that game will be played?
It is. So as of right now, our girls are still playing Taylor on Wednesday, and they're playing pretty good soccer, for the most part, and that'll be a good CHL test for us.
Yeah, and a big one as well, because you're tied for second. Both teams chasing Marymount at the top of the league there. So a really important one there as well to try and keep pace and stay right behind Marymount at the top of the standings. What should fans expect to see in that match against Taylor? I know we've got Alter to Monday night, but on Wednesday, that big league match with Taylor.
Yeah, I've said it. I know before, our kids are tough, and they're going to play tough, and they're going to expect Taylor to be tough and give us their best effort. And we're just going to keep doing what we do every game. We're going to try to play really good defense, and our forwards up top play aggressive, and they're going to get a couple in the back of the net. And I don't think we're going to shift anything that's normal for us. So we're that tough, gritty team, and that's how we're going to keep playing.
And that's all you can ask for, at least at this point in the season. You kind of are what you are at that point, tough, gritty. And a lot of teams can find wins like that, and your team's doing it there for sure. Let's move on to the tennis court. Coaches Classic over the weekend. A lot of positive momentum going on for this team heading into that. How did you think they fared, and how are they feeling with the sectionals just around the corner?
Yeah, we had a great CHL matchup with Wyoming last week. We took care of business there, and going into the Coaches Classic this weekend, it was kind of odd for us. We had a couple of our top kids missing because of SATs and some of that kind of stuff, and we took that weekend as, hey, this is a great experience for some of our kids that aren't as experienced to get tournament experience. So it was good. I think we got out of it exactly what we wanted to get out of it. It's we were in the top division, which is a great place to be when you're not one of the bigger schools. So we were in the top division, and some kids got some experience that typically haven't played at that level. We are trying to hook up with Eaton this week to play the finals of the GCTCA to see if our team will make it onto the Final Four for the state team tournament. And yeah, sectionals next Monday. We're excited. We for singles, we got a 1 seed and a 3 seed, and a doubles team that got a top seed. So the year's been great for the girls tennis team. We don't expect to start slowing up now, and we'll see how we finish up.
And we'll be checking in on that next week as well in the weeks to come. And hopefully it's a lengthy run for some of those tennis players for sure. Let's talk about field hockey and the start they got off to. We've been hyping it up for weeks now, and it was well deserved. To win their first 6. Now they've hit a couple of bumps in the road. Had a couple of tight ones that didn't go their way since we last spoke. Now they've got a three game week ahead this week, and a lot of action going on. What are they doing to kind of get things back on track?
Yeah, both of those games, Ursuline and Olentangy, were 2-1 losses, and in both of those games, we were down 2-0. And the positive spin that I'm taking out of both of those games, we fought back. We never stopped. We got a goal in, and in both of those games, we were shooting on target the last couple minutes with chances, and the ball just didn't go in. So definitely didn't lay down. We were in both games to the horn, to the very last second. And we have some tough ones coming up. We have Oakwood tomorrow. We beat them in overtime at their place, so we will host them tomorrow. Mount Notre Dame's a top team. So, yes, it was great to start off 6-0. We're definitely going to be tested our next few games, and that's all good. Our kids are playing well, and we want to do the best we can this coming week and see how the season finishes up for us.
And another one we'll be keeping an eye for sure. Like you said, sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way, and really in any sport. And it's 2 perfect examples right there with a couple of 2-1 defeats. Let's move on to the Lynx. So let's start with the girls. They're out at the sectional tournament today, Monday. You were actually out there on the course a little bit with them this Monday morning. Can you kind of give us a sneak preview of what you saw out there, how they felt going off?
Yeah, the course feels like it's playing long. It's kind of a tricky course. For a sectional meet, it's a great course, Hamilton Elks, and they're doing this live scoring now, so you can kind of tell where people are. And as a team, we were sitting in 6th, kind of at the turn, the top 4 go, and still have a chance. We're kind of right in it to make it as a team, and if not, maybe we can sneak a player or 2 on the districts. But as I was leaving, the rain was coming in, so I'm not sure what it's doing on them right now, but the conditions definitely weren't getting nicer. So yeah. It could be a rough back 9 for everyone just from a weather standpoint. So hopefully it holds off for them.
How did the team feel their chances were in getting through into that top 4 and moving on to the districts going in?
Yeah, they're just so positive attitude type of team, and they're not putting too much stress on themselves. And I think really it was just, hey, we have a chance to make it, and it wasn't, worrying about it too much, just trying to play the best that they can play. We know we're kind of right there on that borderline, so it would be great if we can get through, and if not, like I said, hopefully we can have a player or 2 move on. But we definitely weren't lighting it up with the best scores of the year, but that's typically the case come tournament time and a nice course like that. So if we can just be kind of our average self from a score standpoint, we'll have a chance.
And that's all you can ask for at this point in the season. Finally, let's talk about the boys. And I don't see the trophy there next to you. I know it's shared. Can you?
Well,
Can
I,
oh
I
that?
did,
Okay.
I did. It's not the CHL trophy, but I did dig up a district trophy just to represent.
That's all right. There, they wind up. The boys' team winds up sharing the league title with Madeira, and we had talked about this coming into this tournament that it was going to be a 3-horse race. It was yourselves, Madeira, and Marymount, and it winds up going to a fifth score tiebreak, and you wind up sharing the league title there. Marymount finished, I think, just 8 shots back, so it was really tight the entire way there. So you win that, and then Peter Shakely just goes nuts. He goes and fires a 72 and wins the individual title in a sudden death playoff. So you get a team trophy, you get an individual champion. Could this have gone any better for Coach Harbison?
It really couldn't have. And, it's really what we've been talking about all year. It's not just been kind of coach speak. It's up, between the 3 schools and every match. I mean, you just don't know how it's going to shake out. And it ended up for us as well as it could have. I mean, like you said, to really need the whole team to win the championship or share it with Madeira going to that 5th score, that's pretty exciting in golf terms for sure. And then again, for Peter, as you said, to win the individual championship on a playoff hole. I mean, it's just, the CHL's tough, and we knew that, and it's a lot of fun, and that will serve all of our schools well moving into the tournament that we've been battling each other the way that we have.
You look at the individual scoring going into the tournament. It was really Peter Shakely of Indian Hill and then Brandon Connor of Madeira. They were 1-2 in scoring, and it kind of separated themselves a little bit from the rest of the individuals. And it comes down to those 2 in the playoff, and Peter gets the better and wins the title there. How fired up was Peter knowing that he was going up against the guy who he was right there all year long in scoring with and beats him straight up for the title?
I think they more have just fun with it. It's such a neat group of guys, and definitely fired up, pumped up. You want to get out there and beat the guy you're playing with. To have that battle all year and to win like that, I think is just cherry on top of the sundae for the way that his year has gone. And but they know it's not over. That's really kind of the start to the rest of the season, really. So hopefully he and the team can keep shooting like that the next couple weeks, and we're finding ourselves up in Columbus in a few weeks.
Do they feel like they've got a good shot to get there?
Absolutely. That was the goal from the beginning of the year, and there's no reason to think any differently now. And they absolutely have a chance to make it as a team. So that's the goal, and I hope I'm spending a couple days in Columbus in a couple weeks.
And we're certainly hoping that as well. But anytime you can conclude a show talking about a couple of league championships, it's definitely a good day. Brian, we appreciate the time again. Good luck to the girls golf team, and we'll chat again next week.
All right, great. Thank you.
That is Brian Phelps, athletic director at Indian Hill High School, joining us for This Week in Indian Hill Brave Sports here on the all-new IndianHillBraves.org and ESP Media, powered by Sidearm Sports.